Hello and good evening. I'm CA Nidhi Bhaskar and I welcome you all to my channel. In this video, I'm going to make an announcement which a lot of students were waiting since long. We are going to launch the APM batch. For all those students who were desperately waiting for me to give this announcement, so here are all the details which you were waiting for. For ACCA December 2021 examination. So finally, the APM batch is here. Let me just give you some highlights of the batch, how the system will work, how this batch will work. Every detail, let's find here. So I'll come up to the basic highlights first. Number one, it's going to be a blend model, a blend of recorded plus live sessions. How will that blended model work? So approximately 40 hours of recordings you will get. These recordings will cover 80-85% of the study text plus some portion of exam kit also. For those who haven't studied from me, for those who want a confidence how these recordings are going to be, if they will actually understand what type of APM teaching I deliver, for them specifically, we are uploading chapter number 1 and chapter number 3 on my YouTube channel. Why these two chapters have been taken? Specifically to make you clarify, because chapter 1 is absolutely theory, chapter 3 is a bit practical, so that you can understand how am I at teaching theory as well as practical. Sometimes it happens that someone is really good at teaching practical but not really good at theory. Someone is good at theory, not good at practical. So you actually deserve that clarity. Be clear on that. These two chapters are going to be uploaded, out of which chapter 1 has already been uploaded. Chapter 3 is going to be there on my YouTube channel in the next coming 2 days. You can find the link of both these chapters in the description box. At least that will give you a clarity. Apart from that, when it is about the recordings, there are two more main points which you need to remember. These main points are: point number one, there are some PPTs which are running in the recordings. Will you get those PPTs? Yes. They are a type of notes for you. If I have prepared anything based on which I am teaching in the class, obviously these notes will be very important for you. So that at least the whole batch doesn't have to make notes when already I have done that. So you will get those notes also. Another thing, will the videos be similar to the videos which are there on YouTube, or a new surprise is going to be there when it is actually being bought as a course? No, just to clarify that, the way you will be able to see chapter 1 and 3, same quality is going to be there for rest of the chapters. You will find me on the screen plus notes running on the screen. Wherever required, the study text or the exam kit will also be there. Because to do a question, obviously, we can't do that through a PPT. We will have to open the book in front of the screen. So that way, the quality is going to remain the same, plus you will get the notes also. Now let's come to the third point, very critical point on recordings. What is the validity of these recordings? How many times you can watch them? To answer both these questions, these recordings will be there with you for 6 months, for 2 quarters. Because obviously we are just going on remote exams. There is a possibility that the exam gets cancelled, or it is not in a position that you can launch it. There is a technical glitch, whatever can happen. In that case, if you have to sit again in the next quarter, you need not pay us anything. You will by default get these recordings for 6 months. How many times you can watch them? As many number of times as you want. There is no restriction on how many number of hours or how many times you can watch them. How many times you want, you watch them. That's not a case of restriction for us. But yes, we do want that the students clear the paper in 2 quarters, not beyond that. Then let's come to the live sessions. This was all about recordings. Now what is going to be there in the live sessions? So live sessions will serve some 2-3 purposes for me specifically. One, it will keep my students in discipline. At least I'll get to know if they are studying or not. Now in the beginning of the batch, an orientation session will be kept. a type of an interactive class where we will decide the timetable till what date what has to be done. I'll be meeting the students every alternative week. There will be a live class. So for these days, which will be there in between the live classes, some target will be given to the students that you have to complete from this to this chapter. And then when we meet on this day for a live class, we'll practice some exam kit questions related to the topics which you have covered. So at least it will give me some confidence that the students have studied these chapters, based on which they will also keep on answering when we are practicing the exam kit questions. These live sessions will cater to the exam kit questions live plus some problems also. So you can just expect that 2.5 hours will go into one live session. So if a student registers for the batch, he gets or he becomes eligible for 4 live sessions. Then a batch WhatsApp group will also be created. This group will be serving a purpose of students helping each other. If there are some silly problems, if there is something very petty because of which you are not getting the answer, you can always post on the group. Maybe someone else who has done that question can immediately come up answering. You are not supposed to wait for the problem class to happen. So you can get the solution as soon as possible. The last thing, mock test papers. So somehow I always consider that the mock test papers are very crucial. With P level, specifically APM, these mock test papers become double important. Why? APM requires hell lot of skill in writing answers, framing the structure of the answer. So if I need to teach you how to write answers, I need to assure myself that you have actually got what I'm trying to say. And that assurance can come only when you write mock test papers and I evaluate them. So these 2 mock test papers will happen at the end of the syllabus. Some 2 days will be given to you where you will be sitting to give the exam, and then I'll evaluate it. A proper feedback will be given where you need to improve as a student. After all these, now the basic question which will come to your mind is the fee. What's the charge for APM? So because Value Education has been formed to make ACCA coaching as reasonable as possible, we have agreed to keep the charges for APM to be 12,500. These charges include everything, the 6 months of access, then by default access of the live classes also, then your 4 live sessions plus your mock tests, everything. It includes all these things. So I guess and I hope I could clarify a lot of things which a lot of students were asking us on a day-to-day basis. But if still there is anything which we can answer, or if there is something which I left answering, please feel free to write that in the comment section. If you want to register yourself with us, please feel free to do that on the number which is there on the screen. I hope my video was helpful to you for clarifying your doubts. If there is still anything, please feel free to comment. Thank you so much. Take care and keep on studying.